If you have a closet full of clothes and nothing to wear, or if getting dressed feels stressful, know that you're not alone. Style isn't something that you're born with, it's a skill that needs to be developed, and it takes time and it evolves over time. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly where to start in developing your own style. Hi and welcome or welcome back. I'm McKay. I make videos about practical style tips and small wardrobing. Let's get into it. We talk about style like it's this elusive thing, as if some people just have it and some people don't, and that's just the way that it is. As if it's something that we're born with, and that's just simply not true. Most people don't start figuring it out until some kind of a shift happens. Maybe you're entering a new stage of life, maybe you moved to a new climate, you have a new job, you became a parent, whatever it is, or maybe you just feel like something's off and things are out of sync. Just know that feeling lost isn't a sign of failure. This just means that you're ready to evolve and to move on to the next thing, so that's a good thing. And developing your style and expressing yourself the way that you want to can be a great form of self-care, because you deserve to feel confident and comfortable and good in the clothes that you wear every single day, no matter where you're going or not going. But before you start shopping, you really need to have a vision. This starts with understanding your real life, your preferences, your lifestyle, your habits, so that you can ultimately develop a style that works for you. Taking the time to go through these steps is really gonna help set you up for success, even before you go shopping. The first step is to do a lifestyle audit. Reflect on the places that you spend your time the most. Do you spend your time at work? Where do you work? What kind of environment is it? Do you spend quite a bit of time at home? Do you have other kinds of activities? How do your days actually unfold? Where do you spend your time? I know this sounds very obvious and very trivial, but really make sure that you're thinking through that. Are you working in an office? Are you working at home? Okay, what does that mean? Are you gonna need things that are a little bit nicer, a little bit more casual? Also consider your climate and environment. Do you live in a rainy, outdoorsy area? Do you live somewhere hot? Are you somewhere cold? Are you city centered? Do you live in the suburbs? Just really take these things into consideration as we're figuring out what is and isn't practical. What kind of clothing do you need? What would be appropriate where you live? What would make sense and would get the most use? Also ask yourself, what's the energy or the culture of where you live? I think this is a step that we often overlook because it doesn't feel as obvious. Think about the culture of where you live and what would harmonize with that. For me, I live in the Pacific Northwest, and I tend to think of casual outings with friends. I think of spending time at coffee shops, bookstores, barbecues, farmers markets, those kind of things that are very community focused. I live in a very outdoorsy area where people spend a lot of time going on hikes or walking and just enjoying the beautiful sunny weather when it finally does come out. The next step is to do a closet audit. This is where you're gonna think through what you actually enjoy wearing. It may not be a huge list of things, it may be only a few things, that's okay, but I really encourage you to get really specific here and to be as critical as you possibly can. What kinds of things do you enjoy wearing and why? Try to be specific here instead of just saying, oh, I wear jeans on a daily basis. What kind of jeans? Are they straight leg jeans? What kind of wash are they? Are they dark wash? Do you like things that are rigid? Do you like things with a little bit of give? What do you like about them? Is it the fit? Is it the comfort? Like, what exactly is it? Is it the rise? Are there certain materials that you like? Maybe you prefer something that's a bit more soft and snuggly and warm like cashmere, or maybe you want something that's a bit more durable and it has a bit more weight and drape to it like wool. Or maybe you want something that's all season, easy to wear, something like cotton. Try to figure out what the common themes are. Another thing to think about is, what are your most worn pieces? And I know it sounds like I just asked that, but your most loved pieces that you feel good in are often different from your most worn pieces. So are you wearing those things because you actually like them, or is there a bigger gap or problem in your wardrobe? So for myself, for a while there, I noticed I was wearing tons and tons of sweaters just daily. I kept wearing sweaters over and over again. And I realized I didn't actually love wearing sweaters every single day. I was wearing them more often than I wanted to. But the real problem is I didn't have a jacket that I actually liked. So I was just bundling up to stay warm. You might be doing something similar where you're just making something work, but it's not actually the version or the solution that you want. Okay, next up is colors. Are there certain colors in your wardrobe? What kind of tones are they? And try to go beyond just like the color itself, like green or blue or red. Is there a certain tone that you like? Do you like things that lean on the more warm side or on the cool side? Is there some kind of an overall trend? And going beyond that, do you like things that are bright or muted? I do have a video all about color analysis. If that is something that you're interested in, or if you're just really struggling to figure out what colors you like or where to start, I highly recommend that you do color analysis. It's not necessary, but it is a helpful tool if you're looking for direction. And then lastly, what do you not feel good in? What are your constraints? It's really important to have some kind of constraints in your wardrobe. Your style isn't just what you do wear, but it's also the things you choose not to wear. Are there things that you avoid wearing, or you regret buying, or you just never end up feeling like your best self in them? Again, why is that? So for me, I think an oversized fit just looks so cool on other people, but I always feel like I'm swimming in it. I don't like things that are oversized on myself. It just doesn't work for me. And so I can know that even if something looks amazing on the hanger, it looks amazing on the site, I'm not going to enjoy it. So that's just an automatic no. So identify what doesn't work for you and then avoid those things. A bonus tip here, if you're really struggling, is to go window shopping and just look at the different pieces of clothing and try things on with no intention to buy. See what you're drawn to without any pressure, see what you like, see what you don't like. We need information, we need data. Okay, so now that we have a better idea of the things that we practically like and don't like, we need to start creating a vision. Just like you wouldn't jump into your car and start driving having no idea where you're trying to go, you're probably gonna have a destination in mind and you're gonna be tracking to that. It's the exact same thing when building your style and preparing to go shopping. So let's map it out and figure out where you're gonna go. The first step is to create a Pinterest board with intention. And this might mean just creating a fully new Pinterest board. Maybe you have a board that's old or it's jumbled, it's all over the place. Just start fresh if you need to. I will say that Pinterest is really, really good at showing you the things that it already knows that you like. It's great about just making an echo chamber. It's not very good at exposing you to new styles. And that's what we need to happen because we don't want to get trapped in a bubble. I learned this amazing tip from Caroline Winkler. She was talking about interior design and she talks about how to break your algorithm and retrain it. So that's what we're going to apply here for our style. Basically, you need to be exposed to different styles. Search for things that you don't normally explore. Search for things that you know aren't your style, just for the purpose of having your algorithm get out of its current track. If it's just showing you the same thing over and over and over, you need to get it out of that and you need to broaden its results. Search any and every kind of style that you can, even if you know that it's not something that you are probably gonna like, try it anyway. So search for neutrals and bold colors and coastal and dark academia, really anything and everything. You could try a minimalist style, French girl style, outdoorsy outfits, bold casual outfits. Just really try to broaden that search. And I really recommend that you click on things because this is gonna help it learn faster because you're engaging with it. So if you see something that you kind of like, click on it. If you really like it, save it, even better. Try to pin images that generally match your environment and lifestyle. That doesn't have to be every single image. It's okay to have an aspirational self or a fantasy self, but we want to try to keep that to a minimum and really be pinning things that you could picture yourself wearing at some point in your life. If you live in the suburbs, probably don't be pinning tons of stuff from the English countryside because that's not going to apply to you. I made another video all about how to find inspiration based off of where you live and your environment, so I go more in depth if you want to learn more about that. And then also try to be pinning mostly outfits. If there are certain pieces of clothing that you're just really drawn to, you know that you like, or maybe you have in your closet and you love wearing, add those things, great, but the majority of these things should be outfits. The last tip I have in this section is to follow different creators. Follow creators that have a different lifestyle than you, maybe a different style, maybe a different body type. Whatever it is, try to expose yourself to a little bit more diversity, a little bit more range, and to make sure that you're being exposed to different ideas. Whether that's Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, YouTube, wherever, this is gonna help expose you to different ideas, different styles, and give you more options. A few years back, I was following a ton of influencers who lived in Utah. And what ended up happening is, to no one's surprise, I ended up seeing pretty much only Utah style. And I saw that style over and over and over and over and over until it became this echo chamber and that's all I saw. And I didn't even realize that all of these other options existed. And I love those options so much more. So I ended up noticing like my Instagram, my Pinterest, everything was really focused on this one specific aesthetic. And once I started kind of breaking my algorithm more and exposing myself to different ideas, different styles, I ended up going in a very different direction and I'm a lot happier with where I'm at now. I feel like the things that I wear and my style is a lot truer to myself. So make sure that you're getting all kinds of inspiration and that'll go a long way. I would really recommend that you follow people who prioritize a bit more of slow fashion, or at least people who prioritize really high quality, durable pieces that will last for a long time, because most of us are probably not wearing a new outfit every day or every week. We need our things to last. It's really important that we can wear our things for a long time. And if we're going to all this effort, you want to enjoy your clothes for a long time. This is your hard-earned money. I would just be aware of that. And that's all I'm going to say there. The next step is to study your board and look for commonalities. You want to have at least 20 to 30 pins, if not more, so that you have enough data to start really seeing themes. Are you seeing the same kinds of colors or tones over and over again? What are you really being drawn to? Are things fitted? Are they oversized and slouchy? Do you like straighter cuts? Do you like things that feel a little bit more feminine and romantic? Do you notice a certain neckline or maybe a certain skirt length or dress length? Really try to identify as many possibilities. Really try to identify as many commonalities as you can. The last step for finding your true inspiration is to remove outliers. As you're going back through your board, try to see if there are any outliers that stand out. Maybe you liked them when you originally pinned them, or you still like them, but they aren't exactly fitting for some reason. Would you still like an outfit if it was in a different context? For example, maybe there's a really cool vibe, they're at a trendy coffee shop, or they're at the beach, or there's these beautiful cobblestones and architecture in the photo as well. Would you still like those outfits if all of those vibes and backgrounds were taken away? Basically, do you like the outfit or do you like the vibe? And if you like the vibe, awesome, that's great, but let's not use it as our inspiration and our direction. And then lastly, are you saving items that don't actually flatter you or you wouldn't actually enjoy wearing? I'm constantly drawn to whites and creams when I'm shopping, but I know that I don't actually love wearing those colors. I feel a lot better in bold, cool tones. And so I need to limit those things in my inspiration and in my closet. Or maybe you love warm tones on somebody else, but you don't like how they look on you. Don't include those things in your inspiration. Trim your board down until it feels like it's cohesive and you have a good direction. By now, you've identified what you're actually wearing, what you enjoy wearing, and what you want to avoid. You've audited your lifestyle and your environment. You've curated a vision board that reflects your actual lifestyle. And you've found themes to guide you in your next steps. This is the foundation of your personal style. Keep these things in mind. You're not copying, you're creating your own unique personal style. And you made a ton of progress by doing these things. This is where it's gonna start getting really fun, and I'm so excited to be on this journey with you. Let me know what content would be most helpful next, or if there are certain parts of the process where you're feeling stuck or you're overwhelmed, let me know. I wanna help you move throughout this process. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.